Hi, I'm Eric, and thanks for joining me for this week's In Focus on WGTV Channel 11. We appreciate you taking the time to tune in and hear from our guests this evening. In just a little bit, we'll be talking with Melissa Vance, representing the Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce, and also Matt Smith. October is Cybersecurity Month, and we'll find out about how to keep yourself safe online as we talk to Matt with First Bank Richmond. In the meantime, this is time for you to do what you need to do from a civic standpoint. So if you have not yet voted, you still have a chance to do that. You can vote still at the Wayne County Courthouse on the second floor. You can do that again tomorrow, Friday, from 8:30 to 4:30, and then on Monday, November 4th, from 8:30 to noon. Also, this Saturday is the second of two Saturdays that the courthouse will be open for a chance for you to vote, and you can do that this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you need any more information, you can call the registration office at 765-973-9304. Early voting at the vote centers also continues through tomorrow. 4 locations there: the First Bank Coleman Center on Salisbury Road, the Golay Center on East Main in Cambridge City, First English Lutheran Church on East Main in Richmond, and the Hagerstown New Testament Church on West Main in Hagerstown. Also, this Saturday, November 2nd, will be the second and last Saturday that you can vote at the Coleman Center from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. I didn't misspeak. You can do that at the Coleman Center from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., but if you hit 3 p.m. on Saturday and you still want to vote and you can make it to the Wayne County Courthouse, they are open until 4 o'clock on Saturday. And then, of course, on Election Day, the 4 locations that I already mentioned: First Bank Coleman Center, First English Lutheran Church, Golay Center, and Hagerstown New Testament Church will be joined by 4 other locations: Mount Olive Baptist Church, 1108 North H Street, Life Spring North Church, 5600 US 27 North, First Baptist Church at 1601 South A Street in Richmond, and Centerville Christian Church Family Center, 106 East Main Street in Centerville. Those locations will be open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Tuesday, November 5th, Election Day, and then join us on Tuesday, November 5th at 6 p.m. as we will once again be live in the lobby of Whitewater Hall on the Indiana University East Campus, talking about something. We haven't figured out what the topic for the evening will be, but we will be talking about a particular topic as we wait for the results to come in from the Wayne County Courthouse, and we will bring those to you on the air, so be sure to join us. We appreciate our partners for that, the Western Wayne News, as well as the Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce, who have been our partners in our In Focus Candidate Forum and election night coverage for, do we even know how many years we've been doing that together?
I don't. It's been a while, but it's a great partnership. We appreciate working with you.
All right. Melissa Vance, President CEO of the Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce, thanks for being here. Greatly appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Normally we have a chance to talk to you a couple of times during the year. This year has been a little bit of odd for a number of different reasons, and we haven't had a chance to catch up with the chamber. But you all continue to move. There's always pictures, there's always ribbon cuttings, there's always something going on. A busy group of folks in your office.
We have a small but mighty crew and such a great group of volunteers that work with us to get so many things done. But a lot of good happening in the community, and it's fun to be out and celebrating the good. We often hear about the negativity from various directions, but it's good to celebrate the good. Once we start counting it up, it's exciting, whether that's the number of ribbon cuttings or the number of businesses that are coming in, or development downtown, or you name it. It's good stuff.
You all get to this time of year like we get to the end of our fiscal year and just kind of look back, kind of celebrate what happened, but then we put our heads down and we go back to it. I know that's the case with
Right.
you all. One of the things you all did just a few weeks ago, the Community Improvement Awards for the third year, I think. You all have been at Hartley Hills
At
in
Hartley
Hagerstown.
Hills, yes. It's been a great location for us. We are in, if you haven't been out there, oddly enough, we're in their cart barn, which they use for a banquet center, and it's lovely. And the garage doors open in this wonderful September evening, having that flow, but really getting to celebrate. This year, we had 14 nominations for Community Improvement Awards, and these are celebrating businesses that have invested in improving their facilities, either from a brand new construction or a renovation on the exterior or some high-end landscaping or something like that. So, good group.
Talk about how people are nominated for those awards. Is that something internal? Is that something that you ask the community to send you suggestions about?
It's kind of a blend. We keep track throughout the year as much as we can by working with the city and the county with their permits, and we comb those permits and look for all of our chamber members and the things that they're going through. And then we also have a committee that helps us with some of those nominations, but then we do awards, and what you're looking at right now is the Spirit Award winners were the Festival of Trees this year.
Okay.
And that always goes to a community initiative or a community group. And then our Impact Award went to Earlham Commons, which is where Parlor Donuts is, and right there next to Earlham.
I'm sure that was a fun ribbon cutting.
Oh my goodness, yes, that was great. They had a great time, and so did we. And then our Exemplary Award went to Pilgrimage Winery, and that's the owner that you're looking at right there.
A new establishment, isn't it?
Very new, yes. Well, I say that. New building.
Okay.
It's a family farm that has been in this family for years, and they decided to make it a winery. So they planted grapes a few years ago, and they've let them mature, and now they are harvesting and doing small batch wines. And they're located just north of 70 in between Cambridge City and Hagerstown.
Okay.
Out in the country, and it's just a lovely place if you want to go out on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday and just sit outside and have a glass of wine. And I think Downtown Deli is providing charcuterie boxes that they have on hand regularly, and they had
It's
a food
good when a
truck
couple of
at
different
one
businesses
point.
can kind of combine on an evening like that.
Right. It's just beautiful out there, so we're excited to have them.
Nice. That's an annual September event that you all have been doing for a number of years, and I'm sure the businesses appreciate the work that they put into trying to make their businesses presentable, actually being recognized and honored.
Well, when those things happen, it lifts the whole community. And a lot of times, an investment in one property spurs an investment in a neighboring property and in that neighborhood. And those are things to celebrate.
Nice. You all did something for the first time this year that went over very, very well, I think, and the winner locally went on to be a winner, I think, on the statewide. That was a National Civics Bee, and we were talking about this a year ago that this was going to come up. You all pointed your star in that direction for a while.
Yeah.
Did it come off the way you wanted it to?
It went really well. For the first year, we kind of ramped up. We didn't know exactly what to expect. We took a model from the U.S. Chamber. They had piloted this in Washington, D.C., and then rolled it out to, I think, 26 or 27 states this year. And in Indiana, there were 7 regional sites, and we were invited to be one of those. So we were pleased to host that right here on the IU East campus. And we had 92 middle school students submit essays on if they could change or do something in the community, what would they do? And those were judged blindly by our committee, and then 20 of them got invited to an in-person event here at IU East in Vivian Auditorium. And Rick Duncan from G101 was our host that evening, but they got to sit up there and have tablets and answer multiple choice questions with audience playing along on their phone.
Okay.
And I probably don't need to tell you that these students who studied probably did better than the audience. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't remember what article is what, but they studied and did well. And then these 3 young ladies got to present their ideas to our elected officials and won first, second, and third place here locally. Took home some cash prizes and then got to go to state. So this is in the middle of our state house in Indianapolis. Was about 6 weeks ago. And they did a similar setup there where they answered questions, and then they got to move to the live rounds and present their ideas to elected officials. And one of our students, Ellie Faust, actually won state, and we were so excited.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice.
She talked about the need to have mental health, more mental health support in the schools, aside from school counselors who are tied up with so many things. And so she was very compelling in one state. And now, next week, she goes to Washington, D.C. with her mom. And Chantel on our team is going to go as well.
Okay.
And she gets to compete on a national stage, and we can watch it. We can stream it online, and we're going to watch from afar. But we're so excited for her.
That's great. Congratulations to all the students who participated in that.
Yes.
Now, you all were chosen as a site. Can you all put in to be a site again next year, or does it move around?
We did. Those that participated got an opportunity to submit an application to host again, as well as other places also got to propose, and we were chosen.
Okay.
So we will be a site again next year, which is exciting. We'll be doing this again, and the schools, the middle school principals and counselors and teachers are already ramping up and talking to their students about their essays. So we anticipate more than 94 this year.
Nice. If it was something that you did not see, it was recorded by Whitewater Community Television. It is something that we will probably be airing during the holiday season on our education channel, WETV Channel 20, as we ramp up for another year of the National Civics Bee. I think that was a great opportunity for kids to really show their interest and be able to put some ideas out there, and it sounds like it went very well.
Well, it's good to teach young adults how to interact in a healthy way. How do they foresee a challenge and come up with a way to solve it? And those are the things that we need as they grow up. We want them to be engaged. We want them to be strategic thinking and results oriented and all of that. So we're excited about it.
Cool. You all have done work in the schools, obviously, for a number of years, from career fairs to, I know it's not called School is Cool anymore. What is
Every day counts.
Every day counts. But one of the things that your Business and Education Committee, you've taken on a new initiative with middle school students. Again, thought process on possible careers for them, trying to get them to think about what they might want to be. They don't have to make a final decision, but it gives them a chance to hear about some of the opportunities locally. Talk a little bit about that initiative.
So in the spring, our committee came up with this plan to do job shadow program, and a subcommittee really developed what they wanted this to look like. And so 5 different days, our committee members, business leaders, went into the school, starting with Hagerstown, and talked to the middle school students about various career paths, helped them think through what they might be good at, And then they got to go to Dot Foods and tour and listen to all of the different types of careers that Dot Foods offers, whether it's human resources or a truck driver or logistics manager or everything in between.
Sure.
This fall, we have been at Seton Schools most recently, and they got to participate in a similar setup. They went to Neighborhood Health Center and toured there. Interestingly, Chantel came back and she said one of the students said that he wanted to be an informational officer or something like that. And she said, I don't even know what that is. And he said, well, they have one at Neighborhood Health Center. So
Okay.
that's what he wanted to do.
Disseminating information to the community about the health,
Yes.
that's something really great to do.
So on the final day, they participate in an elevator pitch and have a 30 to 60 second pitch on why somebody should hire them. And the room is set up with 3 of our business leaders in chairs that roll and swivel. And so it's kind of like The Voice. This is the pitch, and they play the music and they turn their chairs for these students and then give constructive feedback on how they can improve or what they liked. And the students win prizes and candy and all the things. But it's been a fun journey.
Talk about what that's been like for the students who have had a chance so far to participate. And I assume this is something you all are going to continue through all of the schools in the area.
Yes, our hope is to do that. We have more lined up already. I think Lincoln starts next week.
Okay.
So as the state is making adjustments to diplomas and what that's going to require, these students going into high school really have to define what career path they want to journey in high school. And not that they can't change once they get there, but they have to have some place to start. And in looking at that, we realized that they're going to have some groundwork or some framework to make that decision in 8th grade. So how can we assist with that? And that's really where this starts. And again, getting them to start thinking ahead and digesting all of that information. If they go into high school and they start down a path and get to intern with some employers and realize this isn't the career that I thought it was going to be, how much better will it be for them to make that decision in high school instead of being halfway through their college career and having invested finances into that? So our hope is to at least aid in that journey.
I know you just mentioned the changes that will probably be impacting our educational system from the state. Is not one of the things we talked about ahead of time, but you all recently held a conversation between some business and education leaders and State Senator Jeff Rotz. Talk about how that went, and I assume it's the same type of thing, trying to get the students to understand some of the changes, trying to get business and educational leaders to also understand the changes that are taking place.
Senator Rotz has always been great to communicate with and come and speak with our chamber members, and this is no different. Some of the challenges that we have heard has just been, number one, the runway of getting things set up and students scheduled in a way that allows them to have that internship or apprenticeship program and still complete the core curriculum that they have to complete. Scheduling for some schools starts in February for the following year, so there's not a whole lot of runway there. Then on the business side, it's having that framework of what's going to be expected and reporting back, and then how do we set up things that are meaningful, not just for the student, but for the employer too. How can we make it a win-win and make it easy for them to participate? Most of our members want to be supportive, but they also have to figure out how they build that capacity internally. So it's been good conversation so far, and certainly we're not there yet. It'll take a lot more effort, but we're at least having that conversation.
You're watching In Focus on Whitewater Community Television's WGTV Channel 11, or you might be listening on a Sunday morning to G1013 or their sister station 1490 AM, 100.9 FM, ESPN Radio, WKVV. Appreciate it however it is you are watching or hearing us. This is In Focus. We have spending some time with Melissa Vance, President and CEO of the Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce. As another busy year comes somewhat to a close. You're getting closer, you're getting closer. There was a lot that went on this year, including another trip. This is the third year that you all have tripped?
This is our second year we have tripped. So
one plan that didn't get to come off.
One didn't get to happen, yes. China we thought we were going to do, but then COVID happened and we decided that wasn't a good plan for 2020.
Good
Whole
thought.
different ball game. So
this past year you all made a couple of stops.
We did. So we started in London this year. We had about 26 people that went to London and spent 3 days there, and then met up with the rest of the group. We had a total of 50 people that went to Ireland with us. So London, we got to see all the main sites. We had some tours that were set up through our local travel agent. Cruise Adventure has helped us through this process this year. It's been a great partnership with them.
Nice.
And got to set up a lot of things for us to see and learn about there. This is Big Ben standing behind my husband and I, which was a lot of fun. And then in Ireland with about 50 people, we saw St. Paul's Cathedral and got to see many things in Dublin, which was exciting. This is one of the views from that one I think
London.
is still London. But toured around the entire perimeter of Ireland and got to see a lot of those sites. It was nice to fly in, hop on a bus, and then have a tour guide that was with us the entire time. And then at each stop, there was a local guide that kind of walked us around, and they were the expert in their area.
Okay.
But we had a lot of laughs and got to see a lot of different things. It's, people say, what's the why behind the chamber doing this? And for us, there are people that go on these trips with us, and they would never travel to these places alone, just because of the intimidation or the effort of trying to figure it all out themselves, or driving on the right side of the road or the left side, whatever that is. They just
it's different than we do it.
Yes. And so really expanding that worldview and appreciating various cultures, that's important to us. It's an important way for us to be welcoming to other cultures that come into our community here, and understanding and just, like I said, just appreciating what each has to offer. And then when you go to places like this, it's learning how they might be doing some things better that we can replicate here, at the same time appreciating what we have here at home that might be better or more enticing than what we see there. And there's always a little bit of both. And then that networking that takes place across seas, we've seen these people really bond, build some lifelong friendships, I think, just by doing this trip together. And now they're starting to engage more in the community and things that are happening here and doing that together. So it's been a win all the way around.
People don't think about the fact that both IU East, Earlham College, I think Bethany maybe even have some international students that come in. Some of our business owners are not all U.S. based. There are some international businesses. So finding out a little bit more how to do business and what things look like in other parts of the world, I'm sure has been incredibly helpful for the folks who have gone and for the chamber staff that's gone too.
Absolutely.
Have you all gotten a chance to engage with any of the business leaders in some of the communities that you all have gone to?
We have minimally. with some of the small businesses, especially, you know, whether that's going to a winery or a distillery and learning how they do business there, or a small artisan and learning about their craft, those types of things, and how they build their business. It's interesting to see what entrepreneurship looks like abroad versus what it looks like here.
Right.
And there's a lot of similarities. Now, when we go next year, our trip next year is going to be a cruise on the Danube River. We'll be hitting Germany, Austria, Slovakia, and a little bit of Hungary, Budapest, Hungary.
Okay.
And in Budapest, Belden has a plant there. So those that are traveling with us that are interested, they're going to be able to tour our local plant here in Richmond, see what that production looks like, and then tour the plant in Budapest and see what that sister production is like there. So having Marty and Beth Vanderburg go along with us from Belden, they're going to be our experts, of course, but it's not a must. People don't have to do it if they don't want to, but if they'd like to see what that looks like, that's on the table as one of the optional excursions while we're there.
Nice. If someone wants to take that trip, talk about some of the requirements that people need to know, when things need to be done. This isn't something that happens at the last minute. You don't say 3 weeks from now, okay, I'm taking a cruise on the Danube.
Right.
How much planning is going into this? And I assume people have to let you all know sometime within the next month, 6 weeks maybe?
Soon, yes, soon. So we already have between 20 and 25 people that have committed for next year, and there is still room. With this being a riverboat cruise, there's a limited number of rooms and it's live inventory. So someone in another part of the world could be taking the same cruise and booking those rooms. Cruise Adventure, Pam at Cruise Adventure is, like I said, our partner with this, and so she has all of the details and would work with people directly on getting that booked and set up, as well as helping with airfare and all of those things. But sooner than later, because passports and, you know, airfare and all of that needs to be lined up ahead of time. So it is all inclusive. Some of these riverboat cruises, you have to pay extra for excursions. This is all included. So your excursions at all of the stops, there's usually a couple options. If you want to go out, you can venture on your own or take one of those excursions, and it's all included in the price.
People are listening to this or watching this and going, okay, I want to mark my calendar. When is the trip?
It is next July, and depending on if you do, there's an optional few days in Prague or Munich, and then the post few days in Budapest. So it's early July.
That's a little later than your first two trips, isn't it?
Yes. We did it on purpose. We tried to find a good weather time of the year for where we were headed, as well as trying to plan around some things that were happening here, and think about when people may already have a day or two holiday that they can just add some vacation time to it and make it a week for them. So it'll be a good trip. We'd love to have anyone of our local friends travel along.
Someone wants a little bit more information. Who do they contact? Is it you in particular, somebody else in your office, and what's a number or email address that they reach out to?
Well, you can go to our website, wcareachamber.org. And the information is on there under membership and 2025 chamber trip. Or you
the
can
years
call,
keep ticking off, don't they?
You can call Cruise Adventure directly, and Pam will walk through that.
Something that happens annually here, it seems, on the IU East campus, obviously something that the Chamber cares about, the Regional Business Outlook Forum, which is actually still coming up November 21st. Talk about how the Chamber helps press that and the type of information you all are looking for from that annual event.
Sure. So it's nice to have that partnership with IU East. They and IU as a whole does a survey, a business survey, and our businesses participate. We help share that out to all of our local businesses to share information on what things look like on their end, and then that's compiled and analyzed by the economic professors and then presented here on campus. It's nice to come and listen to, what their projections are going into the next year, and different businesses are looking at different things, but they provide that world view and a state view and a local view or regional view. And it's important for us to stay in tune to all of that as we look at trade. A lot of our businesses are doing worldwide trade, and what the stock market is intended to or projected to do, interest rates, things like that, as businesses are doing their budgeting and going into the next year. So.
You mentioned small businesses earlier when we were talking about the trips overseas. Obviously, we start to get to this time of year. You want people to shop locally and support our businesses year-round. That's really spotlighted with the Small Business Saturday, which is coming up. Talk a little bit about how the Chamber is going to connect with small businesses this year for that event.
Sure. Well, we try and shout from the rooftops this whole buy local concept, and that's whether you're shopping for a Christmas present or a holiday present, or you're servicing, buying a service, catering, or shopping for your next insurance policy. Supporting local businesses lifts our community, because when I go shop at a local boutique and buy my gifts, I am investing money in their business, and they in turn are taking that paycheck and going and buying groceries here in town and doing the things that they do. There's definite benefit to our community when we support each other. And that's what we try and shout from the rooftops. So it's easy right now to get online and do our shopping and have it show up at our doorstep, but it's meaningful to support our local businesses and to be able to provide unique gifts to people that they wouldn't get online. So it's a win-win to do some shopping locally for the holidays.
Talk a little bit about, before we move on, and we've just probably got about 6 minutes or so left in this conversation. I appreciate the time that you've given us. Every Day Counts, which was School is Cool, it's morphed. Talk a little bit about what that looks like now. There's still a lot of conversation about the fact that we have a number of students that are still not showing up every day and missing a large number of days.
It's difficult. This program started 14, 15 years ago, and the whole idea is to teach students at a young age that showing up is important, and it helps you grow and to be the best that you can be by showing up, and hopefully then that translates into the workforce later. And it's challenging because in some cases, depending on how old these students are, if they're relying on parents or grandparents or other guardians to get them to school on time and get them there every day, and to prioritize school over other things. And so our hope by being out in the communities, whether that's showing up at a homecoming game or being at a parade or doing some advertising, whatever, is to get that message not just to the students themselves but to the parents on how important it is. And it is a challenge. If we don't have students showing up, they're not going to do well in school. And if they don't do well in school, it's going to be more challenging on them later in life.
And more challenging for our business leaders.
Absolutely. So right now is one of the fun times of year. Our committee has been out in parades with cars from Wetzel and magnets and candy and handing out prizes at homecoming games and doing various fun things, trying to get that message in the schools and get them excited. The end of the year, every elementary school, and I think we have 14 elementary schools now that we support, every elementary school we do a drawing among the students that have 97% or higher attendance. And we give out a scooter.
Okay.
And then at the middle schools.
That's why I'm seeing those all over the place.
Yes, that's
Okay.
exactly right. It's scooters. It used to be a bike. We're doing scooters now. And then at the middle school, we're doing electric scooters. And then at the high school, grades 9 through 11, we're drawing for a prize package from G1013. They are giving us tickets to something fun in the summer,
Okay.
whether that's concert tickets or amusement park or something. And then at that senior level, of course, they get invited to the senior celebration. And we're doing that at the fairgrounds in the First Bank Coleman Center now because it's grown so much. Well, actually, we were in the expo, the First Bank Expo Hall last year.
Right.
And we get to give away prizes to a number of students, starting at $50 gift cards all the way up to $500 gift cards from Best Buy, and bigger prizes, electronics, and then one student getting his or her choice of a car or a scholarship, compliments of Wetzel. And so it's just a fun night, but it's a good way to celebrate and hopefully instill that value.
Nice. We opened this conversation with information about voting. The Chamber has coming up on the 14th of November. Am I close in my dates?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
14th of November. Meet your elected officials. Talk a little bit about that and what folks need to know if they'd like to be there.
So this is something we've done for the last several years. Comcast helps sponsor that for us, and we do it at Forest Hills. It's a way for our chamber members to go out and actually have face-to-face interaction with our elected officials. Newly elected officials will have a moment to greet the group, but mostly it's a networking evening. Have some hors d'oeuvres and chit-chat with our elected officials, and gives them an opportunity to hear what's important to our business community and how we can help grow our economy here, and then vice versa, hearing what the goals are from the elected officials and figuring out how we can partner to make sure that when they're making decisions, whether that's at a school board or a local county office or at the state house, that they're thinking of East Central Indiana and what's important to their constituents when they're making those decisions.
Nice. We've got about 90 seconds left before they cut me off, and we haven't mentioned the upcoming Chamber Annual Dinner, and I know you want to do that for a hot minute, so go for it.
Yes. So save the date. This is coming up January 17th this year, and it's always a big time, and our theme this year is a starry night. And we will be in First Bank Expo Hall for the first time, building some capacity and growing a little bit. But it's a great night to just, again, celebrate individuals, businesses, organizations that do amazing things all the time. And we get to celebrate them that night, give away some great awards. So stay tuned for that. Registration will open up after Thanksgiving, and it sells out quickly. So we say that all the time, but it really sells out quickly. So get your tickets early. And all that information's on our website, wcareachamber.org.
All right. Melissa Vance, President and CEO of the Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce. As always, it is good to talk to you. I will miss you on election night, but wherever you're going to be hanging out, I hope you have yourself a good time.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
We'll be back with more In Focus in just a moment.
There's nothing like a beautiful day and an early morning tea time. A great experience begins with one swing. Managing finances with First Bank Richmond is just as effortless. Drive after drive, hole after hole, my game is on course. First Bank Richmond, this is where I belong.
SmartHub is a web and mobile app that allows you to do business with us like never before. You can manage your account, view and pay your bill, monitor your uses 24/7, report outages, and receive important notices, all in the palm of your hand. You will be able to save time and money with features like paperless billing, auto pay, and much more. For more details on SmartHub, visit us online. Presented by Richmond Power and Light, your locally owned electric utility, building Richmond a better tomorrow.
I vote because I want my future generations to have a wonderful life like I do. I vote because I'm going to make a difference in my county and my country.
Just as like a rite of passage and being able to just show the community like, hey, I can vote, you should vote too.
I want to see a better life for my family, and the only way to see a better life for my family is to make change.
Let's shine by seeing the best in all of us and by looking out for everyone's well-being. Let's shine by staying true to ourselves while surging toward the future. Let's shine with the best care possible and by treating you here, right in your hometown. Let's look out for each other. Let's stay healthy. Let's shine together.
Thanks for staying with us for this In Focus on WGTV Channel 11. We were scheduled to speak with Matt Smith, Fraud and Security Officer at First Bank Richmond. Sometimes in the workaday world, things come up and Matt was not able to join us, but we will definitely get him back in. It doesn't matter that October is Cybersecurity Month. Cybersecurity is something that we should all be aware of and take steps to protect ourselves when we're online and protect our kids when they're online. So we will definitely get Matt back in here and talk about some cybersecurity tips to help keep yourself and your money safe. In the meantime, some things that we want to pass on to you as we head out. First of all, I want to remind you once again, since we were talking with Melissa Vance, one of our partners in our election coverage, along with the Western Wayne News, you can still vote. Early voting continues through this week at the Wayne County Courthouse. You can still do that tomorrow from 8:30 till 4:30. That's at 301 East Main Street. You can also vote Monday, November 4th, at the courthouse from 8:30 until noon, and Saturday at the courthouse from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. So tomorrow, Friday, 8:30 to 4:30, Saturday the 2nd from 9 till 4, and then Monday, November 4th from 8:30 till noon. All of that voting is taking place at the Wayne County Courthouse. You can also still vote at the vote centers that are open tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. First Bank Coleman Center, Golay Center in Cambridge City, First English Lutheran Church in Richmond, Hagerstown New Testament Church in Hagerstown, those locations again through tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. The First Bank Coleman Center will also be open on Saturday, November 2nd from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., 1 hour shorter than the courthouse. So it is correct that the Coleman Center is open from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. It is correct that the courthouse is open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday. And then on Election Day, November 5th, you can vote from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. First Bank Coleman Center, First English Lutheran Church, Golay Center in Cambridge City, as well as Hagerstown New Testament Church. 4 additional locations will open up on Election Day. Mount Olive Baptist Church, 1108 North H Street, Life Spring North Church, 5600 U.S. Highway 27 North, First Baptist Church, 1601 South A Street, and Centerville Christian Church Family Center, 106 East Main Street in Centerville. If you need information on any of the voting locations or times, you can call 973-9305. That, of course, is a 765 area code. Then we invite you to join us on Tuesday evening, November 5th, for our live election special taking place in the lobby of Whitewater Hall on the campus of Indiana University East. Appreciate you joining us. If you can't watch on WGTV Channel 11, we will also be live streaming to our Facebook page, but join us for our live election coverage. While we're doing this show, there will be trick-or-treaters out and about, but one of our communities, Milton, has decided that they will hold their trick-or-treating on Saturday, November 2nd, from 6 to 8. Also taking place on Saturday, Civic Hall Performing Arts Center has Seven Bridges, the ultimate Eagles experience. I know there's a lot of Eagles fans out there. You can definitely do that. That is going to be taking place on Saturday, November 2nd, from beginning at 7 p.m. You can go to civichallperformingartscenter.org for more information. Richmond Civic Theater has their next production opening up tonight through next weekend. It is The Woman in Black. Definitely tickets on sale. And again, great Halloween show, great show beyond Halloween. So go rct.org if you need information on that. This Sunday morning, very early, you're going to want to set your clocks back. You're going to fall back. Daylight savings time. You actually gain an hour's sleep, so that is going to be a good thing, I guess, for some people. So remember to do that. Also taking place on Saturday, the Richmond Disability Resource Fair is going to be taking place from 11 till 2 at Ivy Tech on Chester Boulevard. The Richmond Disability Resource Fair will feature a diverse array of exhibitors who will share information about services and resources aimed at assisting individuals and their families. You can get more information at info@connections-in.com, or you can call 317-710-7184. Reed Center is having an event that is coming up on November 6th. On the first and third Wednesdays of the month, they provide free concerts from area artists. This one will feature Karen Rosenberg on organ, Ray Ontko on cello, Robert Cook on baritone, and Lisa Ginn on piano. Those again happening from 12 until just before 1. They are absolutely free, so head into Reed Center and enjoy that concert. The Holiday Marketplace is going to be taking place, this one being presented by Whitewater Broadcasting. Now, this was at one point in time years ago, I believe the YWCA Craft Bazaar. It became Genesis. It moved on to A Better Way, and now G1013 and their sister station WKBV taking this over with proceeds benefiting St. Jude's Children's Hospital. This is going to happen on November 8th and 9th at the First Bank Coleman Center. On November 8th, the hours are 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. On November 9th, the hours are 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The 16th annual diabetes event is taking place on Wednesday, November 13th from 5 to 7 in Reed's Lingle Grand Hall. They do want you to RSVP at 765-983-7961. The Lively Arts Series continues on into November. On November 18th, Kayla Brea, Music for a Brass Quintet, is going to be taking place at 7 p.m. in Vivian Auditorium on Whitewater Hall. That is always a great time. You should mark those on your calendar. You can find more information at east.iu.edu/lively arts. Check out the full one. And then on the third Wednesday of the month, on the 20th, Joe Bachmeyer is going to be playing organ at the Reed Center again for one of their noon shows. Again, they do those on the first and third Wednesdays of the month from 12 to 1, absolutely free. Thank you very much for watching this week's In Focus on Whitewater Community Television's WGTV Channel 11. Once again, we'll be live Tuesday evening, election night, from the lobby of Whitewater Hall. I hope you'll join us along with our partners, the Western Wayne News and Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce. In the meantime, have a great weekend, and as always, I wish you well.